Good morning, everyone. May 13th, 2020, day number 31. And today we're going to talk about cake, as in you can't have your cake and eat it too. Hopefully you had a really good Monday. Here in Seattle, it stayed in the low 60s. The rain didn't rain as much as I thought it was going to be, but I did finish up the backyard. I had one small section to do grass seed with. I was originally going to wait until August when it cools down to finish it, but because the next 2 weeks we're going to be in the low 60s, I figured let's go ahead and knock it out since it's going to rain for the most part these next 14 days, not every single day, but there's a good majority of days that it's going to rain. So I figured I would go and get that knocked out. So that's completely done, and the rest of the day was spent around Project 2020 and looking and trying to do more about Topps 206 that's coming out. If you have not checked out the website, I've added a page for Topps 206. It's going to be for the checklist to break down. Hopefully we have some news today about this card or about these cards, the configuration outside of just 10 cards per pack, but we'll see. So once that gets announced, I'll have the website updated in the moment. And also I did just update the Project 2020 page, so check that out. The new Ricky Henderson card from Ben Baller looks amazing, and I also do like the Mariano Rivera. I think it's Keith Shore if I'm correct here, but that one very, very different. It reminds me a little bit of the Chipper Jones card when he was, I think, staying against a cactus in his jeans. I can't remember what year or what card that was, but I sort of like the Mariano Rivera. I've also sort of done a lot more research when it comes to pre-ordering, when it comes to purchasing the cards, but let's take a look at what I'm doing with Project 2020 as of yesterday. So yesterday evening, I had a really good discussion with @Center10Cards on Twitter. If you're not following him, give him a follow. Him and I have talked about back and forth quite a bit over the years around selling cards at volume, building up your operation, and he's got a really good pre-sale business going on at the moment with Topps 2020. And so I just reached out and said, hey, how does this work? I understand that you're pre-selling these, and as for me as a consumer, I just kind of figured everybody would order their cards from Topps.com. I never really thought about the fact that people would be buying these cards on eBay versus Topps.com. And so we had a really good discussion back and forth, and I'm not going to go into the full details of his economics and what he does with his stuff, but it boiled down to the fact that it is a loss up front for sellers to offer pre-sale at these rock bottom prices. I mean, I think he offers $16 a card. Maybe it's like $17 if you buy just one. When I ran the math for my numbers, when it came to me shipping it to Seattle, me paying the taxes, if I was selling a card at $16 a piece, I would lose $5 a card per pre-sale. So if I ordered like 10 extra, and if I sold 10 at pre-sale, I could make up the numbers on the back end. And yes, there's some benefit to the points that you earn from these purchases for Topps Now cards. So that'll be interesting to see if I can ever use all of the points that I have. I have so many at the moment. But I had to make a decision, and I had to give both a fair shot. So let's see what I'm doing right now with Project 2020. Before we talk about my decision with Project 2020, I wanted to thank you for your decision to subscribe to my channel and share my content. I greatly appreciate how fast the channel has grown over the past 31 days. But I have a goal right now, and my goal is to be at 250 subscribers by Friday. So if you are watching this video and not subscribed, hit that button. It's the greatest thing you'll do. Thank you so much. So here's what I've decided to do. And I've decided to do it both ways, and I'm going to run an experiment here, and I'm going to see which one is better at the end of the day. I have purchased, as of last night, the 4 cards that are available right now. I bought 10x of each of these, and I have them being shipped to Seattle, of course. I'm now going to offer pre-sales on the 2 cards from today and the 2 cards from tomorrow in my eBay store. I understand that 8 cards is a small sample size. There's not going to be a lot of data that I can extrapolate out long term in this, but I'm really curious how this is going to work. I could potentially make a big loss on the pre-sales, but I'm going to order whatever I obviously pre-sell and then order more to cover that loss on the front end of it. but also at the same time, I'm going to see from an ROI perspective, did I make more on the card just buying them straight out? So this is going to be a big test. I will update you all accordingly. But this is how I am really diving into Project 2020. I'm doing a lot of unknowns at the moment, but it's a lot of good time to experiment because I have a little bit of time in my hand that I can look more into the numbers. So that is where I'm at with Project 2020. Currently at the moment, I have 70 cards incoming, about 30 last week. I have the 40 incoming this week, and then I'll do pre-sales on the next 4 cards. So I'm very curious for the results, and I'll be curious to see what it looks like at the end of the day. And for anyone who's pre-selling, sorry for more competition on eBay. But now let's talk about the subject at hand, and that is why we can't have our cake and eat it too. So I know it's like 10 in the morning and we're talking about cake, so I apologize if you're not craving cake if it's like 2 in the afternoon. But I have seen this on Twitter recently, and it really started with Bowman 2020. And I guess I'm confused by this thought process, and so I'm just going to sort of talk it out and see where everybody is with this subject. And that's this sort of idea that, or people are broadcasting, I am selling Bowman 2020 spots in a break at cost. I'm not making any money. And I've seen it, it's very prevalent out there around this sort of mantra, or you're just going to be the high man here and not be one of the bad guys like myself who are selling these cards or attempting to sell these cards or boxes at the $700 price range or more, in a sense. I don't understand why there's this sort of backlash to people making money. And I say that for this reason. If you're going to be a person out there who is broadcasting the fact that you're selling a group break at cost, which is your right, I'm okay with that. It's perfectly fine. Then why aren't you selling the cards that you do open if you have kept packs back or bought your own box? Why aren't you selling them at $1.50? Why aren't you selling a Jason Dominguez yellow at $1.50? If you were going to have this argument and you're going to broadcast, you're going to sell the sealed product at cost, why aren't you selling the singles at cost? The singles cost you $1.50 to acquire. So why aren't all of your cards $1.50? I just don't understand why we are A-okay making money on singles, but we're not okay with people making money on sealed wax. You can't have it both ways. You can't say, I want record high single prices, but I want rock bottom wax prices. They go hand in hand. We can have cheap wax prices, and you know what? We're going to have cheap cards on the back end. So if you are mad about wax pricing, look at the single pricing. And if we're really going to make wax prices go down, which I don't think they are going to go down, we as a consumer have to speak with our wallet and not purchase them. The moment that Blowout or Dia Card World or whoever it is not selling cases at a certain price, they drop the price. So, that's a whole nother discussion here at the end of the day. But I'm just very, very curious, and it puzzles me at times when I see people broadcasting, I'm selling this at cost, I'm not a bad guy, but then they have a card for sale at $200 they hit in this product. It just doesn't make any sense. And so I'd be curious your thoughts on this subject. Where do you fall on this? What are your thoughts on people selling spots in a break at cost but then selling singles at 100, 200x of their actual acquisition price? With that, guys, have a great day collecting. Have a great Tuesday. Looking forward to the Topps 206 news that's coming out, and I will see you tomorrow morning.